Good afternoon and welcome everyone to our first class under Prelims Rescue Batch. You all must be knowing the strategy as to what we are going to do under this Prelims Rescue Batch for all of you. We are going to cover the salient aspects of every subject. Geography, polity, history, economy, science and technology, environment and ecology, current affairs, everything we will be covering in 10 to 15 classes of around 1.5 to 2 hours. So आप लोगों से भी कुछ चीज़ें इसमें एक्सपेक्टेड रहेंगी कि you have to do your homework religiously, you have to follow the study plan as being told to you, that will be told to you by the respective teacher, respective faculty at JV's IAS. This way we both, you and us, we both can ensure that the chances of cracking the prelims are, high, and we are going to improve them on a daily basis, right? So is it audible and visible to everyone? As I can see some comments, request all of you to watch this session at JV's IAS in the incognito mode. Okay, you have to watch the class in the incognito mode. Alright, so many of you must be facing some teething problems, some initial problems, but you need to check with the team also at the back end. So there are going to be around 150 plus students here, right? So आप लोगों की अप्रोच क्या रहनी चाहिए, मैं लिख के भी थोड़ा सा बता देता हूँ. We'll be spending 5 to 10 minutes on this thing and then we'll be starting with the agenda for the class today, right? So this is there. Now what are you supposed to do is this. You are going to watch these classes. We have so designed our PPTs, barring a few PPTs which we are going to use the same PPTs as we are using for our detailed batches, because इतना कोई India Pakistan kind of boundary नहीं है. There is no such dichotomy between the prelims preparation and the mains preparation. Since we have got ample of time, when we were conceptualizing this batch, the postponement wasn't yet done. Okay, so in prelims, if you are going to see that you are getting the long statements, lengthy statements, these statements are such that you find these type of statements while writing any answer for your mains. So the conceptual clarity is being tested here for your prelims examination also. If you think that you will focus on just keywords and would be able to sail through, no, you are mistaken. Having said that, there is 20-30% of the portion of preparation which is emphasizing on your keywords, which is fact oriented. Now all that is required is, in prelims, precision is what matters. Precision is, you have to hit the bullseye. You have to ascertain if Article 15, for example, is applicable to citizens, is available to citizens or not, or is available to aliens or foreigners or not. Attentiveness is required. The curriculum, the content that you are going to study for prelims and mains remains the same. So your level of alertness, if after studying for let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, if you feel like अब deadlock आ रहा है brain में, कुछ brain freeze हो रहा है, ऐसा नहीं हो रहा कि अब चीज़ें दिमाग में जा रही हैं, then you should take a nap of 15-20 minutes, or you can do something else. You can read something else. If you are not feeling like studying, you can do some exercise and then start reading again, right? Remember, this is a golden opportunity for all of you if you utilize this time in the best manner possible for not just prelims. वो तो यार दुनिया कर रही है. Everybody is going to focus this time on prelims. This is what is going to make it tougher, right? Competition is going to increase in terms of cutoff. That will depend upon the level of difficulty of the paper also, but naturally the easy questions everybody would be able to attempt. Everybody would be doing some extra work during these months. Office goers, those who started a little late, they will be putting in their all. So you also have to put in your everything in these extra 4-5 months, right? Extra 3 months that you have got. Now having said that, I will be in this prelims rescue batch, I will be giving you a question around mains. For every class that we are going to have, we will be telling you the mains question from that particular topic, so that you are utilizing this time for prelims and mains. The committee, I would like to talk about some committees also. UPSC had appointed a committee, and that committee had suggested to UPSC that the time window between prelims and mains should be reduced to just 1 month, and that is eventually going to happen. Now this year अभी के लिए तो ठीक है, हमारे लिए easy है चीज, but आपको ये सोचना है कि ये जो टाइम है ये सिर्फ prelims की preparation के लिए नहीं है. Let us be very clear. This is for the preparation of your optional subject. This is for the preparation of your optional subject के अलावा essay paper, ethics paper. We are soon going to come up with the essay and ethics paper also for all of you. You can join those groups as well, those classes as well. तो optional के लिए you have to utilize this time. All the optionals that were committed at JVs, geography, political science, public administration, sociology will be starting soon. Okay, so this is there. Then apart from that, essay and ethics. Essay will be taken up by one of the renowned civil servants, one of the renowned IRS officers who has written a book also. So this is the time to use for all your main subject also. अब mains के लिए, GS के लिए one by one I would like to tell you here. आपको क्या करना है कि topic wise preparation अब start करनी है. You have to write all the topics, सब topics of syllabus. ठीक है, topic है syllabus में, broader topic है, for example Politica Representation of People's Act. You have to write it, and then opposite to it you have to write everything that was in news, everything that people, your co-aspirants read in general. ठीक है, जो लोग बाकी के लोग पढ़ रहे हैं तुम्हें वो भी पढ़ना होगा. थोड़ी सी strategizing जरूरी है यहाँ पे. सारे टॉपिक्स को तुम लोग मेंशन करोगे. न्यूज में क्या चल रहा था, इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स के अंदर क्या चल रहा था, पॉलिटिकल फंडिंग के बाद क्या चल रहा था, टेंटेड मिनिस्टर्स, जो दागी नेता हैं, राइट, जैसे कि शहाबुद्दीन एंड ऑल, जो द पर्सन हु डाइड रिसेंटली. ओके, तो क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स, उसके लिए व्हाट ऑल सब टॉपिक्स आर देयर. सब टॉपिक्स में दिस फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट्स हैव बीन सेट अप. ओके, तो दिस इज लाइक क्लींजिंग ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स. देन इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स में हमने इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स, इलेक्टोरल फंडिंग की बात करी. इलेक्टोरल फंडिंग में क्या सबसे ज्यादा न्यूज में चल रहा है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट हाईलाइटेड द कंसर्न की इलेक्टोरल फंडिंग के लिए इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स जो लाई गई हैं, इसके नीचे फिर अपने सब टॉपिक्स बनेंगे. ठीक है, फंडिंग के लिए दिनेश गोस्वामी कमेटी. मेनी ऑफ यू आर वेटरन्स इन दिस फील्ड, राइट. I am assuming that you have given you've given at least 1 year to this preparation. This prelims rescue batch is going to assume that you guys are at a better level, at a level above the beginners. So just keep that in mind. Now electoral bonds, फिर उसके बाद दिनेश गोस्वामी कमेटी. दिनेश गोस्वामी जो हमने इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स में अपनी पॉलिटी की क्लासेस में भी कवर करी है, राइट. ये सारी चीजें यहाँ पे आ जाएंगी. फिर उसके बाद कोई और टॉपिक लेके चलते हैं, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट. डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट के, अभी जैसे कोविड चल रहा है तो कोविड के चलते डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट के सर्टेन सेक्शंस आर इन न्यूज. sections in news, provisions in news, you have to jot down all of them at one place. We will of course be covering this in these classes also, but that will give you a fair idea कि क्या क्या पढ़ना है. Now there are certain static parts and there are certain dynamic parts that we see in the news. Sections जो है वो तो static है. Disaster Management Authority का structure क्या है. Then in the disaster management, alongside Disaster Management Act, you see Epidemic Act in news, right? Epidemic Diseases Act और ये सारा कुछ चल रहा है. फिर उससे रिलेटेड अभी जैसे तौकते साइक्लोन आया, उससे रिलेटेड, साइक्लोन से रिलेटेड क्या है डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट में, हाउ साइक्लोन्स आर नेम्ड, वो ज्योग्राफी का पार्ट हो जाएगा, जीएस मेंस पेपर 3 का पार्ट हो जाएगा, जीएस मेंस पेपर 1 का पार्ट हो जाएगा, राइट? सो this is how you have to do the micro listing. We will be doing the micro listing for current affairs and will be providing that to you. You will have to do the checklist work, whether this part has been covered. Is there any other topic that you came across in our magazine, JV's IAS magazine, or in any other magazine, right? In current affairs basically. So you have to do the checkbox kind of an approach. You have to do the broader tick only when you have done all these topics. Okay, ये सारे topics को जब आप check कर दोगे, yes it is done by you, yes this is also taken care of, this is also read sufficiently, then you can do the tick mark here in front of the topic. Okay, likewise there are other topics also. I can enlist citizenship, right, as a topic in polity. Citizenship से related क्या चल रहा है? Citizenship Amendment Act चल रहा है, NRC चल रहा है, right? तो उसके जो स्टैटिक पोर्शन है उनसे तो क्वेश्चन पूछा ही जाएगा बच्चे. उसके अलावा जो करंट अफेयर्स में चलता है, जैसे कि असम या बाकी की स्टेट्स में डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट्स को ये पावर्स दे दी गई हैं, राइट? सो यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन दोज थिंग्स ऑल्सो. सेम गोज फॉर योर जीएस मेंस पेपर 3. जीएस मेंस पेपर 3 में अगर हम बात करें तो यू हैव टू टॉक अबाउट एग्रीकल्चरल इकोनॉमिक्स, राइट, एग्रोनॉमिक्स और एग्री इकोनॉमिक्स, व्हाटएवर वे यू वांट टू कॉल इट. उसके लिए आपको पूरे सिलेबस की जो ब्रॉड हेडिंग्स हैं, टॉपिक्स हैं, टॉपिक्स के अंदर यू हैव टू मेंशन सब टॉपिक्स. नाउ डेसिफरिंग द यूपीएससी सिलेबस की सब टॉपिक्स क्या हैं, दिस इज अ वेरी डायनामिक टर्म. सब टॉपिक्स क्या है, काफी फ्लूइडिक रहते हैं. इस साल कुछ हैं, अगले साल कुछ और होंगे. कुछ एवरग्रीन टॉपिक्स हैं जो पूछे ही जाते हैं, जिनके अराउंड क्वेश्चन होता ही है, राइट, एग्रीकल्चरल इकोनॉमिक्स के लिए या किसी बाकी टॉपिक के लिए. अब यहाँ पे आप क्या करोगे, सिटीजनशिप से रिलेटेड ये तो इसका हो गया. एग्रीकल्चरल इकोनॉमिक्स में एक तो स्कीम्स आ गई, राइट, फिर उसके बाद एमएसपी है, मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस, फिर उसके बाद फार्म लॉज या फार्म ऑर्डिनेंसेस, ऑल दीज थिंग्स विल कम, राइट. उसके बाद लॉजिस्टिक्स में या इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का टॉपिक है. सेकेंड टॉपिक अगर हम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का ले लें, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में यू हैव टू जॉट डाउन जो शिपिंग एक्ट आया है, शिपिंग के लिए क्या किया जा रहा है, राइट. कोस्ट ऑफ इंडिया पे सागरमाला प्रोजेक्ट है, वो एवरग्रीन हो गया. यू गेटिंग अ फेयर आइडिया. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज अ ब्रॉडर हेडिंग. इंफ्रा, अंडर इंफ्रा देयर इज शिपिंग, देन देयर इज रेलवेज, राइट. शिपिंग के लिए क्या क्या किया गया, एनी न्यू एक्ट और लेजिस्लेशन हैज बीन पास्ड, एनीथिंग एग्जिस्टिंग, सागरमाला प्रोजेक्ट है तो उसको यहां पे लिखोगे, राइट. जो भी चीजें यू कम अक्रॉस इन द न्यूज, एंड आई वुड सजेस्ट that we all can make an Excel sheet over here. We will be doing the work and you can add the topics to it, right. I have a genuine feeling that 90% of you, 10% मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं जो लोग इससे ऑप्ट आउट करेंगे, छोड़ देंगे, मस्ती मारेंगे, 90% of you will be able to clear prelims through this classroom program. We will be having Zoom meetings also. We will make it as enriching as possible. I'm going to unravel as to what we are going to do. इसमें हम Excel sheet में तुम लोग जो topics तुम्हें लगता है कि हाँ ये topics हैं, ठीक है, तो we will be mentioning the topics here. You can message to us. We will see if the topic needs to be incorporated in this batch, in this Excel sheet. Okay, this is going to be our master sheet. That if any of you, let's make this class even more democratic, any of you feel that yes, this topic has not been covered, this topic has got this one, and under this topic there are subtopics, right. मैं इस क्लास को ट्यूशन के वे में लेके चल रहा हूं, मैं बड़ी कोचिंग के वे से नहीं लेके चल रहा कि हाँ तुम वहां एक चीटी बन के बैठे हो, यू आर लाइक जस्ट एनी अदर बिगी बिल्ली, राइट. नहीं करना है यहाँ पे क्या है कि कोई भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का टॉपिक है, उससे रिलेटेड कोई भी सेक्शन है हमारा, तो हम सब टॉपिक यहाँ पे ऐड करते जाएंगे. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के अंदर शिपिंग, शिपिंग के अंदर ये, दिस विल गिव यू अ होलिस्टिक व्यू ऑफ व्हाट ऑल इज टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड, एंड देन दिस विल बॉयल डाउन टू 250 most important topics. We will then be assessing all your suggestions, even though the list prepared by us will be all comprehensive, but we will keep it open for the suggestions from your side. Now you can imagine the hard work required from your side as well as from our side. Hard work is going to be yours. We will help you do the smart work on the basis of highlighting the topics. If you think that a topic is important, you give it to us. You give us a feedback or suggestion. If that is incorporated, it's fine. If that is not incorporated, then we will be saving you the hard work and we'll be making you do the smart work through this Excel sheet. That yes, इसकी relevance इतनी है, इसकी relevance इतनी है, इस topic की relevance इतनी है, right? तो इसमें सेल्फ स्टडी का जो सेल्फ स्टडी के एफर्ट्स को चैनलाइज करने का जो यहाँ पे एक जरिया बन जाएगा, वो ये होगा कि आप इस मास्टर शीट को अपना एक मास्टर प्लान मान सकते हो अलॉन्ग साइड दी स्टडी प्लान, राइट. नाउ वी विल सुपर इम्पोज, क्लासेस अलग से चलती रहेंगी, राइट. वी विल सुपर इम्पोज दिस ओवर एंड अबव द फाइनल लैब test series 2 that is going to be included in this course itself, final lab 2, which is going to start from June 3, as you all have seen in the master plan that we have shared. There's going to be a nominal fee for others, but for you it's going to be included. There are going to be tests. Attempt each and every test and check your scorecard on our website. Are you able to see the bar diagrams as to how many questions you are attending, how many questions you are attempting, where are you going wrong? That will give you a fair idea कि कहाँ पे तुम लैग कर रहे हो. Even if you are least prepared for the test, I would suggest write those tests regularly. राइट ये जो लर्निंग है धीरे धीरे तुम देखोगे यहां से तुम्हारी प्रीलिम्स की प्रिपरेशन भी हो रही है, मेंस की प्रिपरेशन भी हो रही है, एंड लिस्टिंग ऑफ टॉपिक्स भी साथ साथ चल रही है. एनीबडी एनी डाउट्स टिल दिस पॉइंट? क्लियर? सो दिस विल गिव यू अ वेरी गुड आइडिया कि क्या क्या करना है. नाउ आई विल कैरी फॉरवर्ड द डिस्कशन फ्रॉम हियर. टेस्ट सीरीज वी हैव सुपर इम्पोज्ड ऑन दिस, राइट? वी विल बी सुपर इम्पोज का मतलब ये है कि इसके साथ साथ हम इसके ऊपर ओवरलैप करके चलेंगे उसका. डन? क्लियर? जस्ट 1 मिनट. सो दिस इज देयर. अब शिपिंग के बाद रेलवेज आ गया. रेलवेज में क्या क्या रिफॉर्म चल रहे हैं? प्राइवेटाइजेशन ऑफ रेलवेज इज अ ब्रॉडर डिबेट फॉर मेंस. प्राइवेटाइजेशन की बात होती है, ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद जो हम फंडिंग लेने की बात कर रहे हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की फंडिंग के लिए जो भी कंपनीज बनाई गई हैं, राइट, जो भी सॉवरेन वेल्थ फंड्स बनाए गए हैं, या फिर जिसे हम क्या कहते हैं वायबिलिटी गैप स्कीम, वायबिलिटी फंडिंग जो सरकार प्रोवाइड करती है, ठीक है, उसके लिए क्या बनाई जाती है? स्पेशल पर्पस व्हीकल्स बनाई जाती हैं. एसपीवीज क्या होती हैं, ये सारा कुछ हम स्टडी करते हुए चलेंगे. स्पेशल पर्पस व्हीकल्स एक्सेट्रा. आई विल गिव यू अ ग्लिम्प्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग. द जॉब इज गोना बी योर्स कि ये तुम्हें पढ़ना है, क्योंकि क्लासेस कम रखी गई हैं. दिस इज मोर ऑफ अ टीचिंग कम सेल्फ स्टडी प्रोग्राम, राइट? I want participation from all of you. Arindam, others, Jagmohan, reply करते रहो. Ashutosh, Narayan and others. Vandana, are you able to hear me now? Mayuk Bhattacharji, Suman, all of you please. Okay, Rachita is there. Karthik is also there. Okay. Anu Pandit, I hope I need not call your names again and again. Okay, so this is going to give you a fair idea of what is important, what is not important, and enlisting of topics would also be. ये micro listing आपको थोड़ा सा खुद करनी है पहले, right? I want you to do your homework. We will be doing our classroom work and we'll be sharing this Excel sheet by 2nd or 3rd of June with you, because this takes a lot of time, enlisting of all the topics. This is going to be more relevant for those who are in our current affairs program, right? तो current affairs program में हम ये strict manner में इन topics को deal करेंगे. तो अब आज की क्लास थोड़ा सा शुरू करते हैं. Daily we will be allocating 5 to 10 minutes to these type of discussions, so that you are on track, you see a broader picture as to where the things are going, okay, and you are able to keep track of your progress level. जो मैंने फाइनल लैब टेस्ट सीरीज के बाद जो पीछे असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट आती है, प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट आती है कि आपने पॉलिटी में फंडामेंटल राइट सेक्शन के क्वेश्चंस इतने कम अटेम्प्ट करे, इतने करेक्ट रेट आ रहा है आपका, यहाँ पे ये गलती हो रही है, आप यू नीड टू वर्क अपॉन दैट. वो आपको एक मिरर इमेज शो करता रहेगा आपकी प्रिपरेशन की. क्लियर? लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद पॉलिटी. आई एम क्विकली गोइंग टू टेक यू थ्रू ऑल दिस. What is a right? Fundamental rights, all of you know this. Fundamental rights are the most important rights in the constitution, right? Parliament can easily amend the legal rights. Okay, these are the legal rights, the statutory enactments as we call them, statutory rights or legal rights, just like RTI. As you know that government has recently amended the RTI Act, also diluted the RTI, Right to Information Act. So statutory, Aadhaar Act, this is again a statutory law. Okay, this is easy to amend. Then comes the fundamental, then comes your constitutional rights. Constitutional rights are those rights which are mentioned anywhere in the constitution but fundamental rights. They are not mentioned in the fundamental rights section, part 3. Part 3 is very difficult to amend. Rights given under fundamental rights are very difficult to amend because they are the supreme rights. They are the bare minimum necessities that the citizens or some of the non-citizens, some of the rights have been given to the non-citizens of India, aliens or foreigners, right? So fundamental rights are very difficult to amend. Clear? Can judiciary amend the fundamental rights? This is the dynamic thing. Can judiciary amend the fundamental rights? Yes, judiciary can positively or negatively amend fundamental rights. Positively means judiciary can read up. Reading up means judiciary reads right to privacy into right to privacy into right to life. Article 21. Judiciary can read a particular fundamental right into some existing fundamental right, or judiciary can read down. Reading down a law means, reading down a fundamental right means that the scope of fundamental right is being restricted, or is being, reading into means the scope of fundamental right is being amplified, it is being increased. Clear? So judiciary can also amend the fundamental rights. Judiciary can also amend a law. Judiciary can also amend a law. So these things are there. Now, okay, judiciary can amend a law. Simple thing. Difference between fundamental rights, constitutional rights and legal rights. Quick revision. High Court. You can go to High Court for your violation of your legal right, violation of your constitutional right, or violation of your fundamental rights. Whereas you can go to Supreme Court only for the violation of your fundamental rights. Right? Under Article 32, you can go to Supreme Court for the violation of only and only your fundamental rights. So the writ jurisdiction. What is the writ? What is basic meaning of writ? Writ basically means when your fundamental right is violated, you can approach the courts. Okay, writ is issued by the court. You can go with a writ petition. A citizen or a person who thinks that whose fundamental right has been violated, he goes with a special type of petition, what we call as writ petition. Okay, special type of petition, writ petition. Writ petition is the special power of the Supreme Court under Article 32. There are 5 types of writs. We are going to talk about them also. Habeas corpus, certiorari, etc., etc. We are going to talk about them. This is the writ jurisdiction power of Supreme Court, and this is the writ issuing power of the High Court. Article 226, High Courts. Writ jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than the writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. High Court can issue writs for fundamental rights, for constitutional rights and for legal rights also. Right? Supreme Court can issue writs only for the fundamental rights. So this is why we say that the writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is wider than the writ jurisdiction of the writ jurisdiction of the High Court is wider than the writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court can issue writs for the violation of only fundamental rights. Meaning of writ is clear. When you think that your some matter has been there for which you want to litigate, you go with a simple petition. Petition means prayer. Okay, my lord, please hear this matter. But when your fundamental right is violated, you can petition the Supreme Court. Again, you can pray the Supreme Court for issuing the writ to the concerned authority, government or district collector or SDM or DM. Done. Writ jurisdiction is taken care of. Now coming to other articles, Article 12, Article 13, 14, we are going to talk about them. Just 1 minute. So this is how it operates. Okay. What is a right? Fundamental rights, very simple. We are not going to spend much time on this. Fundamental rights are protected and guaranteed by the Constitution, and they cannot be taken away by ordinary law enacted by the legislature, enacted by the state legislature or by the Union Parliament. Okay. Now write down one basic point which is not given explicitly in the books. Can the state legislature amend fundamental rights? Can state legislature amend fundamental rights? State legislature cannot amend fundamental rights. Okay, state legislature cannot amend fundamental rights. Only Union Parliament with the help of a special majority can amend fundamental rights. Only Union Parliament with the help of special majority. Only Union Parliament by special majority can amend fundamental rights. State legislatures cannot amend fundamental rights. Okay. Now, legal rights are protected by an ordinary law, but they can be altered or taken away by the legislature changing that law. Legal rights are protected by ordinary law. All these rights, all these ordinary laws are amendable by judiciary. Judiciary can bring about changes by reading it down or by reading something into it. Pramanand Kumar, what's your query? You facing any issue? Okay. An ordinary right generally imposes a corresponding duty on an other individual, but a fundamental right is a right which an individual possesses against the states. But all the fundamental rights, they come with the corresponding duty also. For example, freedom of speech and expression. You can play music, but at the same time you have a duty to not to disturb others. So every fundamental right is corresponded by a corresponding duty. Okay, it comes with a corresponding duty, not a fundamental duty, but duty only. You have to be very, very alert while focusing upon these things, fundamental duty or duty. Okay, fundamental rights, they come along with some or the other duty, right? Now though the model has been taken from American Constitution. Okay, the model of fundamental rights are modeled on American Constitution, but Indian Constitution does not go as far as the Parliament cannot take away all the fundamental rights, even through a constitutional amendment. Clear? Article 12, definition of state. Why this definition of state is given? This state includes legislature, executive and judiciary. Article 12, definition of state basically means that all the organs of state, all the institutions of state as mentioned in the Constitution cannot violate your fundamental rights. This definition of state is applicable only for fundamental rights and fundamental rights, right? Otherwise, definition of state basically remains the same, but these institutions which have been clarified by the Supreme Court through its various judgments, BCCI, RTI, etc. Okay, so these bodies, they are required to observe the fundamental rights. They are required to make sure that in the process of their policy making, they do not violate the fundamental rights of the citizens and non-citizens wherever applicable. In this part, unless the context otherwise requires, the state includes the government and the Parliament of India, government and legislature of each state. Okay, Government of India and Parliament of India, all the local or other authorities within the territory of India or under the control of the Government of India. Now, many a times, many a students, they raise this question, is judiciary under the definition of state as given under Article 12? Well, this is something which is very subjective. Okay, subjective. When I say subjective, judiciary does not come under strict definition of state. Okay, basically judiciary का क्या है, केस बाय केस बेसिस पे ये डिसाइड होता है कि whether judiciary is under the definition of state or not, right? Judiciary is not explicitly mentioned in Article 12 as a state. However, judiciary having the rule making powers can be included in the definition of state. Okay, so this position is supported by Article 13, which lays down that any law includes the rules, regulations also. Okay, rules are made by judiciary also. So if legislature cannot make a rule, please listen to me carefully, if legislature cannot make a rule which is violative of fundamental rights, so is the judiciary. Judiciary can also not make a rule which is violative of fundamental rights. So explicitly, judiciary is not mentioned in the definition of state under Article 12, but implicitly it is under Article 12 if we read Article 12 and 13 together. दोनों को एक साथ रीड करेंगे. Article 12 क्या कहता है? No institution of state can violate fundamental rights. Okay, but won't it be illogical if we say that legislature and executive cannot violate the fundamental rights? Since judiciary is exempted, so it can violate fundamental rights. Okay, so that is why judiciary is implicitly included. Clear? Clear है सबको? Any doubts around this? So it is generally covered under the phrase other authorities. If you will read Article 12, you will see other authorities is mentioned here. Okay, the definition of or the text of Article 12 mentions other authorities. So Article 12, under the other authorities, we can mention that this is covered. Clear? So it is given under the Article 12 definition. In this part, unless the context otherwise requires, the state includes the government and the Parliament of India and the government and legislature of state and all local or other authorities. As it is mentioned, other authorities. So it covers other authorities के अंदर judiciary को cover कर लिया गया है. Explicitly mentioned नहीं है. As you can see here, it is not explicitly mentioned, but other authorities includes this. Because of the logic that I gave you कि ये कितना illogical होगा कि जुडिशरी तो कवर्ड नहीं है, बाकी अगर लेजिस्लेचर और एग्जीक्यूटिव किसी राइट को वॉलेट करते हैं तो वो कवर्ड है. डन. नाउ case law. What is the meaning of case law? Quickly, case law is how a particular jurisprudence has evolved, how a particular matter has been dealt with by judiciary through various judgments. That is called as jurisprudence or case law. उस पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल के अंदर जो केसेस हैं, उन केसेस के चलते जो लॉ निकल के आया है, जो फाइनली सेटल डाउन हुआ है. राइट. बीसीसीआई के बारे में केस आया कि इस बीसीसीआई एन ऑर्गन ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, विल बीसीसीआई कम अंडर स्टेट? if BCCI is violating the fundamental rights, will BCCI be covered or not? Supreme Court laid down a criteria. What is the criteria? Financial assistance. If the state is giving the financial assistance, and that should be substantial source of funds from the government body. Clear? What is the meaning of substantial funding? We can see that if some agency is being substantially funded by the government, then that comes under Article 12. That means that body or institution cannot violate fundamental rights. Functional control. If the functional control of the body is in the hands of the government, then that body is it comes under the definition of state. Administrative control. Okay, administrative control also means that the government it comes under the definition of state, and hence it cannot violate fundamental rights. Quick examples here. Administrative control is, you see the temple management authorities, Vaishno Devi Temple Shrine Board or Tirumala Temple Management Committee, right? Or अजमेर दरगाह के जो टेम्पल कमेटी है, या फिर कुंभ मेला मैनेजमेंट कमेटी. These bodies are administratively controlled by a person who is the nominee of the government and who is ordinarily an IAS officer, so as to supervise the functioning, so that there are no stampedes, right? So if a body is under the administrative control of the government, it comes under the definition of state, and hence cannot violate fundamental rights, because certain rights are to be observed only by the government, only by the state, whereas private citizens private citizens are or non-citizens are free to not observe those fundamental rights. How can judiciary amend fundamental rights? As I said, judiciary by judgment can say that Sabrimala judgment. Okay, judiciary can amend the fundamental rights. We will this will go into the details now. The central agencies like CBI come? Yes. Central now the criteria that I am giving you, bachche, this will make it amply clear. Financial assistance or other things. Okay, this makes it pretty clear that yes, bodies like CBI etc. come under the control, because there is an act which says Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. CBI is under the control of the state, right? Prasar Bharati, please write down Prasar Bharati. There is a Prasar Bharati Act. Now that does not mean that anything that has got an act to regulate it makes it come under the definition of state. हर चीज जिसके लिए एक्ट बना है उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो हर चीज उसके अंडर आ जाती है. क्लियर? Just a minute. Just 1 minute, guys. Yeah, now it's working. Everything that has got an act around it does not mean that, suppose if there is a Cooperative Societies Act, okay, cooperatives then are not under that does not mean that Amul comes under the definition of state. No. Okay. Cooperative societies, Sugar Mill Cooperative Societies Act. No. Clear? Makes it clear now? So अब वो तो CBI तो गवर्नमेंट की ही बॉडी है. The people are being appointed by, appointments are happening by the government. So that means it is under the administrative control of the government, because this is the definition of administrative control. Functional control. What are going to be the functions of an agency? Indian Medical Association or anything. Okay. Even if there is no act, but the functions of the body are being dictated by the government, then that body comes under the definition of state. Clear? So definition of state has always been an ambiguous area, has always been a gray area, I would say. See, statutory regulation of functioning of societies is not an imprint of state under Article 12. The tests for determining as to when a corporation can be said to be an instrumentality, anything that is being used by the government as an instrument to regulate, right? Instrument to regulate, that makes it come under definition of state. Okay, for example, Airports Authority of India. Airports Authority of India is an instrument of the government of India to regulate how the airports are managed in India. Cotton Corporation of India, Competition Commission of India, all these are instruments. Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, right? Now the another interesting question is whether the NGOs are under this thing, under the definition of state. If NGOs, Supreme Court laid down a criteria that if NGOs are, because this is the definition of public authority is there under RTI section 2H. Okay, NGOs are under public authority if they are receiving substantial funding from the government. How this matters, I'll give you a quick example to explain this to you very quickly. If RTI Act should be applicable on NGO or not, whether the RTI Act should be applicable on NGO or not can be determined if NGO is being given substantial funding. If an NGO is being given substantial funding, then Supreme Court said in its judgment, then NGO is under the definition of state. But what is the meaning of substantial funding? Supreme Court defined it for our clarity. Supreme Court said that if 90% of the funds if 90% of the operating expenses of NGO, overall जो expenditure है NGO का, 90% of the expenses of NGO are being managed by the government fund, then this is the definition of substantial funding. If government is funding 90% of the funding, why does this definition of state matter? How is it so important that we are spending so much of time? See, Bihar government, my polity students must be knowing this, though I am skipping out on some other issues which are not important for prelims. Okay, Bihar government hired an NGO, and that NGO was hired for female sterilization. Okay, what we call as tubectomy, right? So tubectomy, like महिलाएं pregnant ना हो जाएं, so that women should not get pregnant while having sex with their husbands, right? Now this NGO committed these things, these operations with dirty tools, okay, medical equipment. They did not wash it properly, they did not use sanitizer after every operation. Okay, so what happened, the out of 100 operations that were done on a particular day, 34 women succumbed to medical poisoning, succumbed to death due to medical poisoning. Okay, so after that a case was filed by one of the petitioners asking that, तो उन्होंने क्या किया, स्कैल्पेल वगैरह अच्छे से नहीं धोया था, ठीक है, तो the kith and kin of these women, they wanted, उनके बच्चों ने, उनके हस्बैंड्स ने सरकार से, बिहार गवर्नमेंट से पैसे मांगे, मुआवजा, compensation. Bihar government said that NGO is a private entity, we are not going to do anything in this case. Okay, NGO should meet its own legal liability. It's the legal liability of NGO, and hence the financial liability to pay compensation to these women rests upon NGO. The case went to Patna High Court. Patna High Court said, as per the definition of Supreme Court, this NGO was functioning upon the money being given by the government solely, Bihar government, and it was hired and shortlisted by the government only. It was star rated by the government that NGO is approved. So based upon the approval given by the government, people relied on this NGO, and hence they became the victims of the dirty practices of this NGO. So it is the government which should pay, as per the definition of state. It is an organ of state. It is the government which should pay compensation to these families of 34 women. If the government so wants, it can recover the money from its agency, NGO, the NGO in this case. But primary responsibility to answer to those people who relied on the government's approval is on the NGO. Clear? So this is how the definition of state matters. If any agency, any instrumentality, any organ, any institution of state does something wrong, then the state is responsible. Because in certain fundamental rights, my dear students, you would say only state word is mentioned. The state shall not do this, state shall not do that. If state does that, whose responsibility is it to compensate for the damage done due to non-observance of fundamental rights? It's going to be the responsibility of the state. Even if the state is delegating its functions, decentralizing its functions to some third party, private party, it cannot shrug off the primary responsibility. ये नहीं है कि मैंने पल्ला झाड़ लिया कि मेरी responsibility नहीं है, मैंने private NGO को काम दे दिया, अब मेरा नहीं है, right? But if NGO is substantially funded, if BCCI is substantially funded, if any TV news channel is substantially funded, and if it happens to violate the fundamental rights, the responsibility is going to be of the government. Clear? Now this is the definition of state. Article 13. Laws inconsistent with or in derogation of fundamental rights. वो कानून जो fundamental rights के साथ नहीं मिलते. ठीक है? If a law is there, if a law, this is the law, Okay, and this is fundamental right. If a law is coming into clash with fundamental rights, then that law should be read down, reading down. ठीक है, reading down is a technical word. Then that law should be treated as ultra vires. Ultra vires means negated. Then that law would be negated to the extent that it violates fundamental rights. Okay, done for everyone? Clear to everyone? Okay, in this article, unless the context otherwise requires, law includes ordinance. Ordinances are also include order, bylaw, rule, regulation, notification, custom. Customs की भी बात करेंगे, सबरीमला वाला मैंने जो example दिया था. So, custom or usages having in the territory of India the force of law. Laws in force include laws passed by or made by legislature and other competent authority. Okay, we'll talk about that. Now first let's understand doctrine of eclipse quickly, very quickly. It says that, see, if this black one, if it is a fundamental right, okay, the sun of fundamental right, Suraj, if it is being eclipsed by, this is the eclipsed area, this is a law, the white shade is a law. If this law is, this whole is the law, right? If this law is overlapping with fundamental rights, to the extent that this fundamental right is being violated to this extent, then this law should be treated as illegal. Ultra vires is the technical word for saying illegal. Okay, for example, IPC section 377, homosexuality, article 15, prohibition of discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Article 15 in simple language says that no law should discriminate on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Right? No law made by the government, by the parliament, by the state legislature, or no judgment given by the judiciary should discriminate on the basis of sex. Particular point here, section 377 says homosexuality is illegal. If a male is having sex with a male, that is illegal. But on the other hand, fundamental right law says that it is illegal. But on the other hand, fundamental right says that you should not discriminate on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex and place of birth. There is a conflict between the law and the fundamental right. So the law, this is the law, the watch hand, law should bend and fundamental right should survive above the law. To that extent, this law will be held invalid. Okay, to that extent, to the extent that this law violates the fundamental right, the black area, it will be held invalid, and fundamental right, the sun of fundamental right, should shine as ever. Is this point clear to everyone? क्लियर है सभी को? क्विकली ये इसी तरह से आगे बढ़ते हुए चलते हैं. So we will be framing our tests under the final lab test series 2 in this manner to test your level of understanding. All right. Fundamental right will always prevail upon laws. Now hang on, we were talking about IPC, CRPC 1861, right? CRPC, these are pre-constitutional laws. You getting my point? laws which were there before our constitution came into force on 26th January 1950. Okay, so even on the pre-constitutional laws, it's not that it is not the case that pre-constitutional laws have been given a blanket exemption from fundamental rights. Even the pre-constitutional laws have to conform to fundamental rights. Clear? Now, what are various meanings of law? What are various definitions of law? The state shall, now read with me carefully, the state, this is where the concept of state that we have understood applies, comes in handy for you to understand. State shall not make any law which takes away or abridges, it means compromises, the rights conferred by this part. Which part? Third part. Part 3 means fundamental rights. And any law made in contravention, made against this clause 2 of Article 13, okay, shall, to the extent of contravention, to the, only half the hand, only the fingers, okay, to the extent, this is the fundamental rights, to the extent of fundamental rights are being violated, to the extent that fundamental rights are violated, this law would bend in favor of fundamental rights in order for fundamental rights to prevail upon that law. Okay, now in this article, unless the context otherwise requires, what is the definition of law? Law includes any ordinance. What you cannot do directly, you cannot do indirectly. If the parliament cannot pass a law, it cannot also pass an ordinance. Article 123. If the parliament cannot pass a law, executive, the government cannot pass any order under the law. Bylaw means rules only. Okay, every time there is a law, there are rules under the law to implement that law. My students, polity students, they understand it fairly well, but I'll try my level best to explain it in detail, at the same time doing justice with every topic of polity. Rules, regulations, notifications, customs. These includes religious customs also. Shadi ki pratha. Customs means dowry. Any custom which treats religion, race, caste, sex. Now here the female sex is being told to give dowry to the male sex. Even though these customs are not law in the strict sense of the term, but the definition of law includes customs also. So that means all these religious customs or rituals which treat a women subservient to men shall not prevail, because that will be a violation of the fundamental Article 13. Laws inconsistent with fundamental rights shall not be allowed to prevail. So it is on the basis of this principle. Article 13 is a principle. It is not a specific fundamental right. It is the principle that should be observed by judiciary, legislature and executive while doing their work. That there should be no law, be it pre-constitutional law, be it anything like triple talaq, be it anything like dowry, which compromises with the rights of any sex, religion, race, caste or place of birth. Any person belonging to any particular place of birth should have equal rights with respect to any other person belonging to a different part of the country, India. Clear hai? Cool? Okay. Afzal is asking, sir, isn't the unlawful conversion law introduced in UP violates fundamental rights? Yes. See बच्चे, अगर आप ये questions पूछना चाहते हो ना, तो my polity course is going to start recently. I mean, it's going to start shortly by 27th of May. You can join that, right? Why am I suggesting is because in that batch, many of you students are already here. We deal with every nitty-gritty of polity, okay, every aspect of polity. There are two sections of polity. What we are studying is constitution. What we see in UP or in what is happening in the country is democracy at work. Okay, there may or may not always be a complete synchronicity between what the book says, the constitution says, and what is happening on the ground. Okay, book could be Gita says so many things about Hinduism, but is it possible to observe all those things in your practical life? No. Violation of constitution happens by the state. That is why these fundamental rights are given. Our constitution makers were visionary. They knew that UP conversion law or such laws are going to come. That is why they in advance they incorporated these things, that we the poor citizens could knock at the door of judiciary directly, Supreme Court directly, the highest court of land directly, if in case we feel that our fundamental rights are being violated. Clear? Theory में बहुत कुछ होता है, ठीक है, लेकिन theory को पूरी तरह observe नहीं किया जा सकता. Now, it is written here, these three were originally there. Okay, customs are also covered. Usage is having in the territory of India the force of law. Any other word which is used in India and is having a force of law, rule, by rule, directive, notification, anything which means a source of law which has got the weight of enforcement will be covered under Article 13. So, two things. Article 12 defines the meaning of state. Article 13 defines the meaning of law, so as to protect our beautiful fundamental rights from the onslaught. Onslaught मतलब दोनों तरफ से, अगर एक तरफ से स्टेट फंडामेंटल राइट्स को वायलेट कर सकती है, दूसरी तरफ स्टेट ना करे तो स्टेट ये बोले हमने तो लॉ पास करी है और लॉ ने फंडामेंटल राइट्स को वायलेट करा है. दोनों से फंडामेंटल राइट्स को बचाने के लिए एक तरफ आर्टिकल 13 है जो ये कहता है लॉज जो फंडामेंटल राइट्स के इनकंसिस्टेंट हैं वो प्रिवेल नहीं करेंगी. दूसरी तरफ ये कहता है स्टेट, आर्टिकल 12 जो ये कहता है स्टेट फंडामेंटल राइट्स को वॉलेट नहीं करेगी. दोनों से बचाने के लिए डिफाइन कर दिया गया है. उसके बाद स्टार्ट होते हैं फंडामेंटल राइट्स फ्रॉम आर्टिकल 14. राइट नाउ द सेकंड एस्पेक्ट ऑफ आर्टिकल 13, the state shall not make any law. Here it was about the pre-independence laws, pre-constitution laws, not independence, constitution. Okay, here it is basically the new laws that are going to be enacted by the state as seen under Article 12 shall not make any law which takes away or abridges the rights conferred by this part, and any such law, if at all any such law is made in contravention of this clause, shall to the extent of contravention be void. कोई अगर लॉ बना भी दिया गया, प्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लॉज कैन सर्वाइव आउटसाइड पार्ट 3 but not inside part 3. Outside you can have. Same is the case for post constitutional laws. After the constitution came into force, if there are any laws which violate the fundamental rights, then to the extent of that violation, those laws would be compromised. Those laws would be subservient to the fundamental rights. Clear? आयुष, यू आर, बच्चे देखो मेरे को ना एक कोर्स को अपने वे से थोड़ा सा चलाना पड़ेगा. These basic rights I cover very beautifully in my polity course. Ayush, basic things. Okay, let us stick to the prelims oriented curriculum for this batch. Though I am explaining, I'll try to answer all your questions, but with a disclaimer that this will, make me go haywire. These are natural rights. Then these are UN determined rights. Okay, some rights are recognized by the UN as fundamental rights. Some are natural rights. Natural are which we are born with, rights with which we are born. By virtue of being born as a human being, I have certain rights. They are my kudrati rights, natural rights. Now, all the fundamental rights may not be recognized by United Nations. Similarly, all the fundamental rights may not be recognized as, all the natural rights may not be recognized as fundamental rights in part 3 of India. As we are evolving as a human civilization, we are including more and more rights. इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन से अब तक काफी सारे राइट्स इंक्लूड होते चले जा रहे हैं. राइट टू प्रिवेसी, अर्लियर इट वाज नॉट अ फंडामेंटल राइट, बट नेचुरल राइट्स को अगर हम देखें, मेरी प्रिवेसी मेरा अधिकार है, जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार है ना. बट जो राइट्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं है, फंडामेंटल राइट्स में रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं है, वो राइट्स शायद बाहर रह जाएंगे. Natural rights are the broadest set of rights, we can say. They are ever evolving. As we are evolving, so are the natural rights evolving. Now, as United Nations list of rights is more comprehensive. It is broader than India's list of fundamental rights. So, most of the natural rights are included in the UN's list of, United Nations list of fundamental rights. Some of the matters, some of the rights in the United Nations list of fundamental rights are not included in India's fundamental rights. Okay, so as we are evolving, as we are progressing, we are including more and more of them. Clear? But इससे क्या होगा ना, फिर हम बहुत दूर चले जाएंगे. समझ रहे हो ना? मेरे को क्या करना है, 15 क्लासेस में तुम्हें इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट सारे कवर कराने हैं. अब अगर एक राइट पे ही तुम अपना राइट जमाने लग जाओगे, we will not be able to proceed further. Okay, now the court said that the law became void. This batch is for those who were reading throughout the year. Otherwise, you can join the prelims special batch. That is more detailed. Okay, there we are having 50 classes for every subject. Okay, so the fee and everything will be adjusted for, but again, since this is our first class, this is for those जो पूरा साल पढ़ रहे थे but अभी रिविजन करना चाहते हैं, क्विक रिविजन है ना. Let us be in the desired bus in order for us to reach the destination. Otherwise, if you'll ask me, the driver of the bus, to take you to left, right, fundamental right, natural right, we will become unnatural towards this course. Clear? We will not be doing justice towards this course. Now, the court said that law became, I as a teacher would be having the desire to explain you everything, right? That is my basic nature, कि मैं सारा कुछ समझाने लगूंगा, but तुम्हें भी देखना है कि कोर्स का करिकुलम क्या है, right? Now, coming to Article 14, equality before law and equal protection of laws. These are two different terms. Okay, equality before law was something that was given explicitly in the Constitution of India. Please write down. Equality before law is something that was given explicitly in the Constitution of India. Equal protection of laws in equal circumstances was not so explicit, or it was not so much emphasized upon. Equality before law was explicitly given in the Constitution of India. Even equal protection of laws was also given. Okay, Article 14 जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो दोनों चीजें दी गई हैं. Clear? But Supreme Court was, in the initial history of India, Supreme Court was emphasizing more upon equality before law. Supreme Court was emphasizing more upon equality before law until Menaka Gandhi case. All this is to be written. Questions of this nature are being asked in the prelims exam. Though not, मतलब तुम्हें पता नहीं लगेगा कि ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग तुम्हें सही ऑप्शन चूज करने में मदद करती है, हेल्प करती है. ठीक है, तो इसका डिफरेंस क्या है? इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ मीन्स you, me, you, me, Prime Minister, let's say my office boy, we all are equal. Okay, but we all know practically we all are not equal. Even if we are born on the same date, same time, everything, we are not equal. Some constitutional thinkers, philosophers have said we all are born equally, but it is a society which creates inequality. It is the economic system which creates inequality. And our constitution beautifully captures this idea. Equal protection of law in equal circumstances alone. Now quickly see this through this beautiful example. This is Salman Khan, this is his driver, right? The driver who was an eyewitness in the black buck hunting case. Okay, so this eyewitness is a poor man. He was sitting besides Salman Khan when he shot the black buck, काला हिरन जो राजस्थान में मारा था इन्होंने hunting के लिए, ठीक है? तो that is an endangered animal. So he was accused of this thing. When he was being convicted, this eyewitness said, yes, I saw him hunting the black buck, right? So he was threatened with his life, or he was not threatened with his life, whatever happened. If you first depose before a court, आप पहले कोर्ट में गवाही देते हो, फिर उसके बाद आप गायब हो जाते हो. If you first depose before the court and then you elope, then you are on the run, then you are not traceable by police during the second hearing, right? First hearing में he appeared, second hearing में he was non-traceable. Then when the final verdict of relieving this man, that due to lack of evidence it could not be proved that Salman Khan actually killed this black buck, he was about to be discharged, he was about to be released, he was about to be relieved of all the allegations. That before the final date, 4 days before, he appeared. So media asked him, do you know the consequences that you will be jailed for absconding? गुमराह करने, कोर्ट को गुमराह करने के जुर्म में तुम्हें सजा हो सकती है 2 साल की. He said, मेरी क्या गलती, मेरे को सलमान खान के बाउंसर्स ने, बॉडीगार्ड्स ने ये बोला था अगर कोर्ट के आसपास दिख गए तो शमशान पहुंचा देंगे, राइट? So his circumstances were taken into account by Rajasthan High Court. Rajasthan High Court said that even though this man does not have the proof to prove that Salman Khan's bodyguards actually threatened him with death, still he will be allowed in the court. He will not be treated as a witness turned hostile, right? And court will treat him to be truthful man, and based upon his deposition before the court, this person would be convicted, right? ऑर्डिनरली क्या होता है, अगर मैंने कोर्ट में गवाही दी और मैं बाद में गायब हो जाता हूं तो मेरे को कोर्ट का दोषी माना जाएगा, कॉन्टेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट और विटनेस टर्न्ड हॉस्टाइल. ये मेरे को चार्जेस लगा के मेरे को 2 साल 6 महीने की सजा हो सकती है, 6 महीने से 2 साल तक की सजा हो सकती है. बट अगर किसी के सर्कमस्टांसेस इक्वल नहीं है, लॉ शुड बी इक्वल फॉर एवरीवन, provided the circumstances of those everyone are equal. Person A is equal to person B in all respects, in terms of money, in terms of power, in terms of influence. If person B is unequal to person A, person B will be given an elevated status like this. Okay, person A is here, person B is here. So our Indian constitution stands for the weaker section, stands for the relatively weak. Person B will be given an elevated field and will then be treated as equal in front of the law. Clear? This is how under the National Food Security Act, this is how under the income tax, this is how under various laws in India we give positive affirmative treatment to the downtrodden. जो जो दबे कुचले लोग हैं। एनएफएसए में 2 कैटेगरीज हैं, अंत्योदया अन्न योजना वाले, जिनको 20 किलो राशन मिलेगा, बाकियों को 10 किलो राशन मिलेगा, आपको और मेरे को राशन ही नहीं मिलेगा। क्यों? बिकॉज लॉ सीक्स टू क्रिएट इक्वल ट्रीटमेंट, it seeks to create equal conditions, everybody should be at par with each other, okay? इनके लिए इतना मिल जाएगा, अगर किसी की इनकम 5 लाख तक है तो 0 टैक्स फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ठीक है? किसी की इनकम 5 से 7.5 लाख है तो 5% टैक्स, 10% टैक्स। दिस इज हाउ द टैक्स स्लैब goes on increasing with the increase in the income. This is equal protection of laws in equal circumstances. If the circumstances are not equal, the law will create equal circumstances. Clear? Mayuk Bhattacharya, please watch it in the incognito mode. Incognito mode is you can see the 3 dots in the right extreme corner, right? The one which you used to use extensively during your college days. Now, clear hai? There should be no favoritism at all. Equality before law is a scalar concept. Scalar means it treats that everybody is at the same scale. A and B both are equal. This is more mechanical, right? But equal protection of laws is more of an emotional approach or practically possible approach. A and B are not always equal, or A, B and C are not equal. B needs this much of support, C needs even more of the support in order for it to be treated. This is how we can justify the reservation in our society. So this is again a broader fundamental right which says that everybody should be treated equally provided the circumstances are equal. If circumstances are not equal, we need to create equal circumstances. Done, everyone? डन है ना? ये डिफरेंस बिटवीन इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ, इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ लॉज, ये हो गया। चलते हैं फटाफट से आर्टिकल 15 पे। द डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ लॉ सेज दैट लॉ हैज टू टिल्ट इन फेवर ऑफ द रिलेटिवली डिसएडवांटेज्ड. सो दिस फिजिकल बैलेंस should tilt in favor of this person. Okay, A is already here. Okay, examples I have given: national food security law and shifting of Tamil Nadu disproportionate assets case outside the state. These examples will be very, very useful when you would be attempting the questions in ethics paper also. So Sasi Kala's case was shifted out of Tamil Nadu because in Tamil Nadu Sasi Kala and Jayalalitha were very influential. That is how the cases are shifted outside, prisoners are shifted outside. GST tax discrimination. There is a lower tax on items of mass consumption, toothpaste, Tata salt, tea powder, etc. But there is a higher GST on luxury cars. Police protection to whistleblowers because whistleblowers आर पुअर सिटीजन्स, है ना? मार दिए जाएंगे, व्यापम स्कैम एटसेट्रा, एज यू सी. सो दिस इज देयर. एज पॉलिटिकल फिलोसोफर सेड दैट इन द स्टेट ऑफ नेचर all men are born equal but they cannot continue in this equality. You can cite this in your essay paper as well. Clear? Society makes them lose it and they recover it only with the help of protection of laws. Protection of the law. Clear? Sources, articles ensuring equal protection of law. This is very important for your broader understanding of prelims. I want you all to read it in next 2 minutes. Nikita, are you there? Nikita Sishodia. पढ़ो तो तुम्हें पढ़ाने के लिए है ये कोर्स, ठीक है? मैं पढ़ दूंगा सारा कुछ, तो तुम क्या करोगे? Read it please quickly. This is how the questions could be asked. कि at what all places do you find the laws ensuring equal protection? Preamble, yes. Preamble secures to the citizens social, economic and political justice. Article 14, of the Constitution makes it clear that the state shall not deny to any person equality before law or equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. Articles 38, 39 lay down the clear mandate in this regard. Okay. Right to free legal aid. If a person cannot hire a lawyer for himself, the state shall provide the legal support, legal assistance to him. 39A, directive principles we are talking about. Everybody done? Clear? So we have dealt with articles till articles 14 today. Tomorrow we will be covering till article 24. Okay, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 will take some time. 22, 23, 24. These are the articles. You can read about them. You can give them a quick revision, and according to the study plan that has been shared, try to read. Try to prepare yourself for the upcoming test on 3rd of June 2021. Remember, with your support, with your own dedication to this exam, some of you are working also, some of you are 24/7 aspirants. Stick to it. Minimize your internet usage to the extent possible. While logging into your internet or while browsing through internet, be very specific कि आज मुझे ये पढ़ना है, right? ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम लोग सभी sincere बच्चे हो. गलती क्या हो रही है? There are so many distractions, right? आज ये देख लिया, फिर उसके बारे में सोचने बैठ गए, फिर कल वो देख लिया, फिर उसके बारे में सोचने बैठ गए. इंटरनेट पे सर्च करो, एक लिमिटेड टाइम रखो. फ्रॉम नाउ ऑनवर्ड्स आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि सुबह से लेकर शाम तक पढ़ रहे हो. अगर कोई डिज़ायर उठती है या एकदम से कोई क्यूरियोसिटी अराइज होती है कि मेरे को इंटरनेट पे ये ढूंढना है, ये सर्च करना है, उसको जॉट डाउन कर लो. अपने साइड में कोई छोटी सी जो पॉकेट साइज की जो स्पाइरल आती है उस पे लिखते जाओ, या किसी पेज पे लिख लो थिंग्स टू सर्च ऑन इंटरनेट. उनको बाद में सर्च करो, राइट? एंड टाइम इज सफिशिएंट. Start doing the answer writing practice today onwards for at least 1 or 1.5 hours a day. No matter whatever you are writing, you should write it properly. So there are some students who are already enrolled in the test series. Start your test right away. You will be informed by the team. Resume your test series because there was an interregnum, there was a gap because of the prelims, but now we are resuming our test series also. Mains answer writing program, those of you who are lacking, and as I said, essay and ethics course will also be there. Stick to just one particular plan and you'll see that your confidence is increasing, your scores, be it in prelims or mains, would be increasing. The coverage of the syllabus topics would also be increasing. Done? This was all for today's class, guys. It was a pleasure teaching you. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Karthik, Surekha and others, we have kept a Zoom meeting for all our 1000 plus students. Okay, be it in current affairs batch, be it in mains answer writing. Nikita, you also just ping the team. Those who are in the mains answer writing batch also, just ping me on Telegram. The team will give you the access to Zoom meeting which is scheduled for tomorrow 8 p.m. In that, I'll be talking about how to integrate your mains preparation, how to integrate your optional preparation with your prelims oriented preparation, right? We'll be talking about these things in that class. Zoom meeting with all the students in JV's premium courses. Mayuk, you would be notified on the Telegram channel. Okay, There will be a notification on the Telegram channel about the next class. Yes, Vineet, there will be a fresh batch for the mains answer writing starting from 28th of May. Please ping the team on Telegram @Jatin Verma 0509. Okay, I'm a little busy today because of so many new classes and other items on my agenda today. Jatin Verma. Any other questions? Quickly ask me, guys. 0509. This is my personal Telegram ID, but team has got the access to the messages, so they will revert to you. Article Aram Khan, कल ये पढ़ के आओगे बच्चे आप, ठीक है? You seem to be a fresher to me on the basis of your questions. I can see that. कल ये पढ़ के आओगे एक बार. Yes, Richa, you'll be able to, since you are in this batch, so you will be able to. This is a premium course as well. Okay. Premium basically means the non-free courses. Yes, there is a Telegram channel. Ping on this Telegram ID. Okay, ping on this Telegram ID. Kindly add me to Prelims Rescue Batch Telegram group. They will do the needful. Shortly, you will be able to see the Telegram group link on your website itself, on your dashboard, course dashboard. Okay, you'll be able to see it here. Just 1 minute. I'll show you quickly. Once you log into this your portal, okay, you have to access your course from over here. You must have been told already. So let's say this is GS batch. You will be able to see the link of Telegram over here in your batch also. Can you see this? Join group from the website itself. You need not message here and there. If this logo, if this tab is not visible on your group, on your dashboard, then only. Geography will be notified today. I think the ma'am has gone for vaccination yesterday or day before yesterday. She is not keeping well, but you will be duly notified about the timings today. Okay, there may or may not be today's class. Yes, everyone, बच्चे तुमने पैसे दिए हैं ना? You are a part of this course. This is a premium course, so you will also be having access to that. Clear? Done? All done for today, guys. Thank you. See you in the daily news analysis course at 3 p.m. if some of you are going to be there. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good time ahead. Thank you, guys. Okay, we'll get one created. Okay, we'll get one created in next 15 minutes.